Hello. So all the obvious things have been removed, but now what? The thing is, I watched loads of videos and I saw that loads of people had absolutely gutted the entire bus and started over, but I find that way too overwhelming for my kind of gig, so I ain't doing that. But instead, I decided to go back in, have a good fertile around and see if I could work out what's what needs to go and what needs to stay, definitively. Future-proof it. Whew, it's much harder than I thought. Well, before I do anything else, now that it's all been cleaned at least once and everything's been there's been taken out that absolutely I know I don't want in the bus, I've started kind of exploring. Let's say it's a journey of discovery, poking about in all the bits, taking down these speakers and a panel in the back there, because this looked like it was a panel here that I could just take a piece out from and make a shelf, which would be great because I could do with that sort of storage, and I don't really care about having that curve of the bus, but it turns out to be one whole molded piece that's riveted in, so I'm not sure about that actually. That's but we'll see. It came out because there was a small piece there, but the rest of the bus is all one long piece, so it might end up taking and then the whole roof will be a wrangle. I just can't be asked with that. But I've been exploring underneath. Everywhere there's a sort of vent or a door or a hole, I've dug a piece out of it and to see what's behind it. And essentially that's the floor. That's just the wheel. That's the heating thing under there. But that's wasted space. But this is this over this wheel arch here is an entire molded piece of plastic. So to take this whole thing out, it's going to leave holes everywhere. I'm not sure. I think that might be a bridge too far. So I'm going to try to work with this space. And the one in this corner I'm keeping because I'm keeping this as a sort of dining area at the back, and then I'm keeping this seat here anyway. But this one, which goes out towards the emergency door, which I might try and use if I can as a separate way out to a deck or something. Plus when you're cooking inside, it always stinks, doesn't it? So when I'm frying tonight, so I need maybe to cook outside, the barbecue door. So I'm going to take all of these pieces, see where everything is, what it all is, and then my friend Gary, who's an electrician, is coming to look at the entire thing to see how I can hook up electricity or power anyway to the bus. So I'm not going to take anything out, no wires, rip anything out until he's looked at it, just in case I take away something vital, which could happen. So the next stage is to plan to do something with this. I'm going to see if I can cut it off actually. Upstairs there aren't that many things really, except there's this black box which has got the ventilation, I think, and the stuff for the driver's seat underneath. That needs to come out because I need that space. And then these tracks here where the seats were, they were bolted into there. I can't seem to get half these screws out, so I think I'm going to have to angle grind them. Obviously this thing's coming out. And then there's all these sort of things I've been exploring to see what they are. They just seem to be access for wires, but I don't know what for what. These speakers are the new additions. There's a hole in the back there, you might be able to see, which is where the old speakers were. These must be the ones that sit down there, all bastards. And I'm going to take these CCTV things out because nobody wants them. And I've left some of the wires, this was just for the things for the bell, because once my electrician friend has had a look at it, he might think these are useful. I doubt it, but I've left them. I don't want to be too cavalier. And there's all these places like this. These are locked. These I've got to get. Oh, hit my knee then. My dancing days are over, my darling. These are locked with a key, so that's no good to me. But there's all sorts of little cupboards with things. They're just access points for things. Goes outside. Climb out if you're a small creature or borrower. It's the way out. So that's that. I shall do all of that and then start planning. And voila, the tracks are out. That was easy, wasn't it? Easy for me. So yes, still filthy, and I'm leaving the floor, obviously this vinyl, that's the original bus floor, till the last minute. But the electrician has been, which is very exciting, and essentially the bus is just going to plug in, which I'll explain anon. So all of this stuff like these speakers and all the wires and tracks that are around can all come out now. And I'm going to try a lighting, taking one of these lighting units out and seeing what a mess it makes. But there's a small one downstairs which I'm going to try first. And if that ruins the ceiling, then I'm going to rethink. But I'm going to do that first. So here is where this single unit is. It's because there was at some point, you can see that blue panel, there was a door here, the side door to the bus. And so this was put in as a single unit, so I'm going to see, but it's riveted in. Obviously they weren't really building it, thinking about the people who have to unbuild it. So they're just thinking more about things on top of things, so it's all riveted, so I have to drill all that out in a minute and then get these off as well. But these CCTV things have got these tiny screws in the side of them, like that wee tiny thing, which is an absolute devil to get out, which I suppose was the idea, because they didn't want the pesky kids. I would have got away with it too, haven't been for all these pesky kids have been messing with it. Although some of the things on the bus, if I'd known they were so easy to take apart, been tempted to bring a cross head screwdriver with me and take the seats out. Naughty boy, naughty child, bad. Would have been fun though. Don't get any ideas. Don't do this at home, kids. Bad influence. I think I mentioned before that I was going to try to repurpose all of these things, this lighting and these tracks maybe potentially for something, but since the electrician's been, it's clear that actually they're no use at all. And in fact, I'm going to put LED inside, and I don't know if I'm even going to keep these things at all now, because they've all got to come out. But I've just got to see what happens to the ceiling, obviously first. Same I'm doing with these cupboards. This had the CCTV thing. I don't know if I can show you this. I can do multitasking. There we are. That's the old CCTV cassette in there. But I think if I take that door off, as I have down there to that one, which now looks like if I had a cat or a dog, a small dog, that could be their little home. Sweet. I'll put a monkey in there. And then this panel, I'm not sure what's behind this panel because the screws on it are broken, so I can't open them. Another angle grinding job. Very, very cavalier with the angle grinder. And then that might, when that's painted and thing, I just don't want to take too much stuff out really, but I think these tracks and the ceiling lights have to go. I think that has been decided. So, wish me luck. I might actually do this myself too, not get Nivingtons to do it. I can't manage the angle grinder is the truth. Okay, I'm going to confess. The reason I can't do the big angle grinder is because it's too heavy and I'm too mimsy. There, I've said it. Okay, fine. Fine. I can deal with it. I'm moving on from that fact. Wish it wasn't the case, but it is the case. So I have to get Nivingtons to do it. I have to get a man in. I'd be good at the design bit though. So look, done it. Haha. I can do it really. Oh, look at my goggles on my wrist. Like a Balenciaga. Do you think it'll catch on? Me sashaying down the street with my goggles. A couple of intimate items resting in the eye sockets. Anyway, I've done it. The reason I also pretend, I can't use the angle grinder, actually that is really true because it is a bit too heavy and my wrists are too messy. But it's always best to pretend you're not really practical because then people don't ask you to do things. Thing is, if you're practical and everyone knows you can do DIY and shizzle, then all you have to do all the time for people is DIY. So don't. Just pretend you can't. That's what I do. And Nivington still falls for it. Amazing, even after all these years. Yours. So anyway, that's nothing to do with anything. The point is, look, the ceiling is just the ceiling. That thing, that track, this thing that's hanging here, was just riveted onto there, and now the rivets are on here. We've got a little light as well, just in case I land in a disco. So
And I'm hoping the track will do the same, this ear track, because when I look underneath it here, it looks like it's just bolted on as well. So hopefully it'll just be, the ceiling will be just one big panel. I will have to wrangle, took these out, this join here and stuff like that, but just a little bit of MDF, painted, LED light strip. Bob's your jolly old uncle. Like this is like DIY Charlie's Angels. Cover me, Brie, I'm going in.